Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. Little story I wrote 11 comments share save hide report 87% upvoted. End of story. Next story. A nightmare I just had. This dream takes place outside Walmart. There is where two of my friends and myself camped for some reason. Almost waiting for something to release. My mother was on the other side of the Walmart. We were kind of bored and most of the time we just bought stuff inside. Now, the whole time we have been there was a crazy old lady cop. She always stopped us before we purchased, saying something like, "Wait, there is something nasty on the item you are about to buy." It was always a bunch of baloney. Anyways, I was now in Walmart buying something. My friends were both together playing Mario Party DS. For some reason in my dream one of my friends had to do challenges in that game's minigames to get stars, and was putting how to do them on our Discord. Almost like the challenges in Fortnite. I have no idea why in my dream I made that connection. Anyways, that means I was in Walmart with my mom and for some reason we picked up an empty Xbox 360. Suddenly, the old lady cop comes screaming at me and my mom saying, "Stop, there is a Playboy in that Xbox 360." And was screaming it like never before. Me and my mom were very confused because we could see the inside of the Xbox. The cop grabbed the Xbox. And apparently the Playboy was a magazine about a person who cut off their hand. But for some strange reason, there was a real hand along with the magazine. It was horrible and rotting and absolutely disgusting. What is even stranger is that the blood was no blood. It was spaghetti sauce from one time I went to a friend's house. Which made the hand more creepy because its blood was saucy. After that I woke up. I have no idea how that dream happened. All I know is that it was extremely bizarre. End of story. Next story. And now we're gunfighting. I'm not going to post any direct links to the article, dates, or identifying information for anonymity. But this is my story. Before I get started, a little about myself. I'm currently a police officer in a fairly large city and prior to that I served in an artillery battery in the Marine Corps for 4 years with 2 deployments to the Sandbox. This incident took place after I got out of the Marine Corps and while in the hiring process to become a police officer. There I was, minding my own damn business. It was around 3 a.m. on a cool March morning. I was working as an armed guard at apartment complexes throughout the large metropolitan area I live in. To set the scene, I was wearing a black long-sleeve shirt, outer vest, gun belt, grey pants, and driving a white unmarked Crown Vic. Get the Paul Blart jokes out now. It was just something to do to kill time until I got on with PD. Unknown to me, a double homicide suspect was leading several law enforcement agencies on a high-speed pursuit down one of the major freeways in the city. That Sunday afternoon he had murdered a tow truck driver and at about 1 a.m. that morning he killed an AM/PM clerk. Neither of them ever saw it coming. He gunned them down in cold blood. I had left one of my apartment complexes, headed to another one in the city, when I got called to turn around and go back for a noise complaint. This delayed my trip by about 15 minutes. But I believe the universe had plan. I finished whatever menial task I had to do, and then began my trip all over again, to go unlock a pool gate at the end of my shift. I merged onto one freeway from another, headed toward another freeway. I saw a highway patrol car parked down in some bushes out of sight and thought it was a really unusual place to park. But that wasn't any of my business. so I continued on my journey to unlock this damn gate. I later found out this trooper had hidden his patrol car in the bushes so he could throw stop sticks at the fleeing suspect. While in the process of this, the suspect swerved right at him, causing him to drop the stop sticks and dive over a concrete barrier, narrowly avoiding becoming a human speed bump. Luck should have it though, the suspect happened to still hit those stop sticks, deflating his passenger side tires. I merged onto the next freeway and found myself rolling up on a blue Jaguar with sparks erupting from the tires. I was confused, unsure what was transpiring in front of me. I noticed a helicopter with the spotlight on the car and found it even more odd. It was just after 3 a.m., so forgive me. Hamster up there slows down after about 2 a.m. and even at best walks with a limp. I looked in my mirror and saw the red and blue lights behind me quickly approaching, and I finally came to the conclusion that the police is after this guy. But I still didn't know what for. It turned out that he had driven at such high speeds the pursuit was stretched out with the bad guy leading by about 1/4 mile. I was about 100 yards behind him in the lane just next to the HOV lane. I decided to get the fuck out of the way and pull over. Like every law-abiding citizen should. A million things were flashing through my head. All the what-ifs came flying by. While I was pulling off the road and coming to a stop, I noticed that he was doing the same. Fuck. This can't be happening here. I have stuff to do. I have to unlock that damn gate. I didn't want to keep driving fearing that I'd be downrange if the bullets started flying. But I did want to drive backwards on the freeway either. I decided to stay put. Still halfway on the road. Halfway off. Fuck it. I watched as he slightly angled his car toward the median. And then back to the right. He's coming to a stop. Why would he angle his car? I asked myself. You know why he would angle his car. Dumbass. Here it comes. My heart drops. The suspect car was still in the HOV lane on the left side of the eastbound traffic lanes. I had stopped my car on the far right side, and ended up being directly on line with the responded police cars. This kept me out of their line of fire. I was sitting in my driver's seat, watching it unfold. It was like a scene from a movie. A really bad one with shitty jokes and bad lighting. The driver door of the Jaguar open. I see his foot hit the ground. Fuck. A dark figure in a beanie steps out. He turns and faces back toward the approaching police cars. He has set himself up with cover and concealment, shielded behind his stolen getaway car. I hear the screaming sirens of approaching police cars. The thump 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 of the helicopter chopping air directly over my head. He shoulders his SKS. I hear the crack of the weapon. And see the muzzle flash. Bang, 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 bang. All in rapid succession. Then silence. Blissful and peaceful silence. My conscious thought had stopped at that point. The noise hadn't stopped. I just couldn't hear it anymore. I didn't need to hear it anymore. Reaction takes over. I'm suddenly standing outside my car. Driver door open. Pistol in hand. Bright green glow of the front sight of my pistol. I can still recall it with hauntingly vivid detail. Front sight level on that beanie. It's the only shot I have. Slow smooth press. The gun goes off. Then again. Then again. No sounds. No thoughts. I watched it recoil and chamber the next round. I had no control over it. Complete autopilot. Flash. The beanie flies off. The shadow disappears. Is he down? Did I hit him? Fuck, I don't know. But I did know he was trying to kill us. 6 more shots through the rear passenger door window. Ammo is cheap. Life is expensive. If he isn't down, he's gonna be pissed when he comes back up. Marine Corps training kicks in. I need to move. I run to the nearest PD Tahoe and take cover behind the engine block. I'm not dying tonight. I need to unlock that fucking gate and go to the gym. The cavalry is coming. Around 100 cops. AR-15s. Submachine guns. All pointed at the car. There's a flurry of yelling. Asking if anyone is hit. Someone is hit. Are they okay? I'm not sure. I shouldn't be making a bigger scene. I shouldn't even been here. I'm okay. I holstered my gun and walked back away from the front line. They asked who the shooters are. What am I supposed to say? This wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't have a choice. Who are you? They ask. Damn good question. I need to call my boss. But my boss is sleeping. Better call my supervisor. The response from the other end of the phone. So you're kidding, right? Like this is a joke? I don't know what I replied. But it got the point across. I was alone with a bunch of cops and scared. I had no clue what to expect. All of the guys from my company came to stand by during the investigation, which I was extremely thankful of. There was later discussion of the speeds which were traveled on the freeway to get to me because, well, we knew where all the cops were, but that won't be discussed here. They brought me 2 sausage McGriddles and a Monster. I ate one and then wanted to puke. Not sure if they were gross or I just wasn't in the mood. Probably both. They took my gun. They took my ammo. Felt kinda helpless. I got a lot of handshakes. A lot of good jobs. It didn't feel good. I was scared. I was more scared after than during. I could watch it happen over and over like a movie playing in front of me constantly. A movie no one else could see. I spend around 10 hours on the freeway waiting for all the detectives to come out and drink their coffee and bullshit. After I got released, my boss took me to his house. We played Call of Duty and drank beer. Found out later they don't recommend that. I'm a goddamn Marine. Pussies. For the next week it was all I could think about. I couldn't sleep. I could hardly eat. Every time I got on the freeway I was waiting for it to happen again. Waiting for the car to swerve off the freeway and open up on me. But it never did. My anxiety was constantly through the roof. With time it's much better. Just a distant memory by now. The SWAT team from one of the involved agencies may or may not have taken me out to lunch. And they may or may not have pitched in a few $100s to help me buy a new gun. Considering mine was going to be gone for some time. Word on the street was that it had been my shot that ended the fight. I never got ballistic confirmation. But if you stuck a plastic stick in the bad guy's head, it would have pointed right at where I was standing. Confirmation enough for me. I used some Google Maps distance thing and figured out my shot was around 90 to 95 feet with my Smith & Wesson M&P 40. Makes you glad you spent all those extra dollars at the range practicing. Telling your story always helps. I think. I'm not doing this to brag. I normally explain it is one of the worst days of my life. Sometimes it's just nice to share your experiences. The reality of it is that it could have happened to anyone. Will you be ready? That's something you'll have to ask yourself. Thanks for reading. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.